in Trin City, as well as quality cash and carry supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, super quality supermarket, and quality cash and carry supermarket.
Well, it's just about 11 minutes here past the hour of 6 o'clock. Welcome to the airwaves of 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. And welcome to today's edition of You Talk on 975. Note that we are broadcasting to you live from Couva in central Trinidad, the energy capital. It's time now for our daily horoscope with Irma Ratan Singh.
Welcome to your daily horoscope for July 16th with Irma. Your daily horoscope is brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road Chase Village for all your puja needs. Let's see what the stars hold for you today. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. Vivacious as you are, you may feel an overwhelming need to withdraw. This could be due to a circumstance that needs thought and reflection, or simply because you want to be alone. Taurus, April 20th to May 20th. Sometimes we cling to goals even though they're outdated in order to prove something. Now, you need to discard those goals that have expired and are no longer interesting. Gemini, May 21st to June 21st. Open your mind. Whether by destiny or design, you'll be exposed to wonderful possibilities. However, getting a chance hinges on your ability to follow your gut. With the sun strengthening your spirituality and sweet Venus exposing you to opportunities that will enhance your lifestyle, you have the chance to fulfill ambitions and achieve inner peace. Cancer, June 22nd to July 22nd. Full stream ahead. You've been full of ambition, energy, and bright ideas, thanks to the sun in your sign, but the presence of retrograde Mercury has caused roadblocks. Now, though you can proceed without any obstacles, and the wind will most definitely be beneath your wings, allowing you to forge ahead. Leo, July 23rd to August 22nd. You are one of the more confident signs of the zodiac, which lends a strong element of charisma. Today, though, it's important not to let your ego get the better of you or get carried away on a power trip. Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd. You're normally pretty open-minded, but today and for the next few days, you may feel quite staunch when it comes to your belief and idea. Libra, September 23rd to October 22nd. Family life takes center stage, which may prompt you to arrange dinners with loved ones or safe picnics with extended kin and take on all manner of matriarchal and patriarchal duties. You'll also feel a certain amount of pressure to perform. Scorpio, October 23rd to November 22nd. Your productivity level is higher than usual today, so you'll be able to squeeze in twice as much in half the time. However, your high standards and speedy execution might not flow with colleagues, or you may become frustrated with what you perceive as laziness or frankly stupidity. Try to be as tolerant as possible. Sagittarius, November 23rd to December 20th. You may feel testy or borderline aggressive today, but it's probably because you'll feel backed into a corner. However, you will display grace under fire and overcome challenging events. Capricorn, December 21st to January 19th. Today you may be forced to stand by your position, property, and values. Take a stance, but try not to be defensive. This isn't the best time to become embroiled in conflict. Put your ego on the back burner. Aquarius, January 20th to February 18th. The sun in your health sector is encouraging you to improve your lifestyle. You'll become more diligent about eating consciously, as well as consuming good foods and implementing a regular fitness routine, which will be a tonic for your mind and body. Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. You'll want to buy something special today. With Mars powering away in your financial sector, you'll probably be able to do it, or at least put down a deposit. And that's your daily horoscope for today, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road, Chase Village, for all your puja needs. And wishing all Cancers a happy and a blessed birthday. I am Irma, wishing you a safe, blessed, and positive day. And remember, look for something positive in each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
It is back. Talk Your Talk is back. This is Mukesh Baburam inviting you to join me right here on U975 FM for the return of Talk Your Talk from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy your favorite segments and feel free to make your comments as we journey together. So join me, Mukesh Baburam, for Talk Your Talk.
On the road again with U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U975 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
Yes, indeed, and a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, and yes, both Nicole, Dookie, and myself, we will be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning as we invite your calls into the program at 636-7547, 227-5739. And note that you can also WhatsApp us at 378-4975. Yes, that's one of our new avenue whereby you can get us on the program at 378-4975. That's our WhatsApp number. So good morning, people. Good morning, and thank you very much for choosing 975 FM Hot Like Pepper as your radio of choice. Today it's a Thursday, July 16th, 2020, and as I look out of our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad, I can tell you it's a bit gloomy this morning, and according to the Met Office, well, we can expect some showers today. So those of you who are living in low-lying areas, well, then you need to take all the necessary precaution. And talking about precaution here, folks, note also too that there's a presence of Saharan dust in the air. And folks, if you are suffering with any respiratory ailments, well, then you need to be careful outside there, okay? Drink a lot of water. To the motorists applying the various routes here in Trinidad and Tobago, especially those motorists heading to north into Shogunas, into Port of Spain, especially coming from the southern districts. People, motorists, exercise caution, ease your foot off the accelerator. We do not want any addition to the road fatality figure. So that's my message to you here this morning. So as of now, it's as I said, it's 22 minutes past the hour of 6. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of the People's National Movement candidate for the Couva South constituency, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. Yes, so let's take a look now at what's happening in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Today's edition, it is 80 pages in total, and I'm urging you to go outside there and purchase your copy this morning. It is priced at only $3. Well, there's a very graphic photograph published on the cover of today's edition. A young supporter waving her UNC flag as she and others engage in a walkabout on Piccadilly Street. A very nice photograph indeed. But the big story this morning, the big story. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley wants patriotic deal closed before election. Well, I wonder why before election. Anyway, I'm just digressing here a bit. Sign for refinery. That's the call coming from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, more so to Patriotic Energies headed by one Ansel Roger. Now the details you can catch on page 3 of today's edition of the Newsday. SUD turned for San Fernando District Court. Interesting, but it's a matter which I will discuss with you, the listening audience, and I want to get your take into this area of concern. It must be an area of concern to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, but I will introduce that subject just after I'm through with alerting you as to what are some of the major stories published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Missing man found dead near home. Those are the stories on page 3 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Now, this is a very interesting story, and you know that we are into the silly season, but I'll say no more on that. I'll just read the headline for you. Analyst to the People's National Movement: stop politicizing grant distributions. That story is on page 4, and you can catch all the details in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Bar owners get court's permission to challenge closing time. Well, remember sometime last week, we would have spoken to the head of the Bar Owners Operators Association of Trinidad and Tobago. He would have shared some views with us, and they are prepared to take the matter to court. Remember, bars are now being asked to close at 8 o'clock as opposed to opening at around 10 o'clock. That decision was made by the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago. So you can get the details on page 4 Minister Young on exemptions for returning nationals. No favors for those that run to media. Minister, that is the Minister of National Security. Caribbean Airlines to fly students to United States. Interesting stories indeed on page 5. Frustration, delays in Sita inquiry. That story also on page 7. So there are a number of interesting stories published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Can on reduction in infant mortality rates. The People's Partnership government did that. The minister, or rather Dr. Fuad Khan, is responding to the utterances coming from current Minister of Health, Terence Dial Singh, as he spoke at a meeting, I think it was on Wednesday night, or rather on Tuesday night. I think it was on Wednesday night. No, on Tuesday night in the Barataria area, where he gloated, boasted about the government's approach, about the government's measure in reducing infant mortality rates. Well, according to Dr. Fuad Khan, that kudos should be given to the People's Partnership government. So you can catch the details on page 8 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Couva North stages 4th demonstration for Ramdial. Well, yesterday, those of you who would have listened to the program, I would have spoken to the United National Congress Public Relations Officer Anita Haynes, who by extension is the party's candidate for the Tabaquite constituency, and she would have shared her thoughts on that. So it's a matter that is ongoing. Note also too that on Friday is nomination day. So I don't know whether any changes at this 11th hour can take place with regards to that constituency. I'm talking here about Couva North. So you can catch that detail on page 8 of today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Well, yesterday we would have dealt with the story where the Prime Minister would have tried to shed some light on the Daryl Smith firing. He said, look, he had to fire Daryl Smith not because of certain allegations, because these allegations were not presented to him or a report was not presented to him. Rather, he fired Daryl Smith for interfering with the public service. Now that story is on page 9. Prime Minister, agro processing plant, no gimmick. Interesting. So he's talking here about the opening of this agro processing plant in the Moruga area. And according to Paula Gopi-Skoon, the Minister of Trade and Industry, she said over 50 persons would have already showed an interest in being part of that project. Now, this is a very interesting story, and it all has to do with the Guyana general elections. Now, remember, the Guyanese electorate went to the polls on the 2nd of March, people. Today, it's July 16th, 2020, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel as it relates to declaring a clear winner. And I told you, the listening audience, that there would be repercussions, there would be fallout. I also spoke about this with Nirvan Maharaj, and he said that if this process continue to remain as is, that is stalling or rather declaring a winner, there could be serious political fallout. There could be a room for what you call civil unrest. So here it is. Granger complicit, Guyanese lose visas. Listen to this story. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced the imposition of visa restrictions on Guyanese nationals who are deemed responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Guyana. So that's a story which we will continue to follow right here on 975. Those are some of the stories, as I said, published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. You are reminded to go outside there and purchase your copy this morning. It is priced at only $3 and it's available at all leading newsstands throughout the country. Well, I have a caller here on the line. Let me take this caller before I introduce Nicole into the program this morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kendrick.
And good morning to you, sir.
First to start with, give me this corner, boy.
Well, I'm hoping that you can give me that. I've been
but
busy.
I told you last time I ain't getting nothing, boy. I had to
Well,
I had a fancy thing where you could get it on internet and all kind of thing.
And you're not getting
that's
anything.
why I depend on Tasha or Collier.
All right. Well, as you may realize, I've been busy all morning, so I didn't get time to look into what was happening.
I know it's a cricket man. You have it up your head with somebody go tell you. But anyway, between the government, that this morning on newspapers are saying that this very handsome Prime Minister are going to sign off on a deal with Petrotrin with the OWTU. But he's telling them, all they had to vote PNM. It has something unethical about it.
Well, of course it has to be unethical. In other words, you are bribing for you are actually enticing people to vote for you in a particular because of certain favors, and that's my opinion.
Go to the head of the class for saying that, because let me put it in layman terms. If you're signing a contract, it come this way because Petrotrin don't belong to PNM, belong to the people.
All right.
If it come like you're signing a contract with Australia, and you're saying that if you don't do so and so, I will sign it for you, that you cannot do that. That is unethical to tell the people, if you don't vote for me, I'm not signing it for you. This is not yours, Mr. Prime Minister. This belongs to Trinidad and Tobago. And last election, you remember there was auctioning 5 BMW, PNM. What are they doing this time to raise funds? But you hear anything?
Well, maybe you can tell me. I don't know.
Well, I'm asking. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know where they get. As far as I know, PNM from Eric William times, none of them have no money.
All right, hold on. I'm going to a commercial break now, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to call me back because I want to provoke you and the listening audience this morning. All right?
All right.
All right. Stay with us here. 975.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
Sign my name with a golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, yeah. Anyway, we vote in PNM. Sign my name with a PNM pen, a PNM pen. I want you sign my name with a PNM pen. We vote in PNM.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
And yes, those two messages are paid announcement, courtesy the People's National Movement. Well, let me say a very special good morning to my dear friend and colleague this morning, the lovely Nicole Dookie. Good morning, Nicole. Well, actually, we're having some problem on that microphone. You get tried back now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're back live. Okay. I think we're having some short there with that microphone, so you're going to have to check that. Yes. So good morning again, Nicole, and how are you this morning?
Good morning to you, Kenrick, and good morning to our listeners. I'm excited this morning, Kenrick.
You had a marathon day yesterday.
For the past week, Kenrick.
Marathon day. Well, yes, of course, today... a bunch of us here, a number of our member of staff will be proceeding to the northeast of Trinidad, more into the Sangre Grande area.
Yes.
As we build capacity for the station. That is 975. It's part of our strategy here to keep you abreast of all of the developments taking place within 975. Well, Nicole, we have some callers on the line. Let's hear what they are saying to us this morning. Okay, the caller has gone. Anyway, you can call us this morning at 636-7547, 227-5739, and you can also WhatsApp at 378-4975. An additional avenue to get us.
Yes.
Let's take these callers on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Kenrick, yes, I'm going to call you back.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Look, I've been following politics in this country for a very long while now. I will not tell you what's
Me
my
too.
age, for
Me
a
too,
very
me too.
long while.
Me too, very long.
And I'm editorializing here and trying to provoke you. Look, a prime minister would have called on the president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to dissolve parliament. Yes?
Yeah.
Follow my trend of argument.
Yeah.
But having dissolved parliament, that does not necessarily mean to say that government is dissolved. Yes?
Yeah.
Government continues to operate. But I find
At
it...
least two people have to continue, Prime Minister and the Attorney General.
Right, but I find it very, let's say, unusual, or I don't know if it's part of a new political culture. Don't you find it interesting that 1 month before a general election, look, I try to keep count of the amount of projects being opened and the amount of sods being turned on the heels of a general election. Your thoughts?
That is what the PNM is all about since 1956.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1950. And the thing is, how can you allow yourself to be fooled all the time with this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Look, people in Moruga, they didn't even know this man going to open a processing plant. They just see he and the media people there. The people in Moruga don't know. If you go back, if you go back yourself, what I'm telling you, how PNM does move, right, Kerrick?
Mm-hmm.
You see how much thing that this PNM did to this fella now, Shamsuddin Mohammed.
Mm-hmm.
Not Sham, his son, that boy will do Shamina man.
All right, go ahead. Let's move on.
Yes,
Go ahead.
that Kamaluddin nephew will be announced on radio again. Shamoon.
Yeah.
Shamoon, look at what he did to the man's son. I think 2 o'clock in the morning, break down the door and all kind of thing, looking for weapons. It was a lie. Look at what they do to the mods in Central Helena.
No, I don't want to.
What I'm telling you is, this is what they do. And now this sitting down with them and praying. This man and them have no shame. You have you go on and you remember Seven Trent, Kenrick?
Yes.
Right, 4 days before election, they sign up a thing with Seven Trent, and it's the same thing they're doing now. So they have a trend of doing these things. I don't know. Kamla Naida Pandey did something like that. If you know, tell me. I'll apologize.
All right. Well, I hear you. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Nicole.
Good morning to you, my friend.
Kenrick,
Yeah.
I accept the Prime Minister saying that, okay, he was fired directly because he tried to interfere with the public service.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know from him about the money that he was supposed to have paid this man from the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. And that's important. And I want to know about that. Whatever they were firing for, it's all right. But I want to know what happened with that money, why that money was paid to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
If it was in fact paid, tell me about that. I don't want to know why he's firing him.
No, but
You Prime Minister, you have to tell me why you're firing him.
no, but I've been following a trend within the last couple of months, and I just shifting our conversation here with the amount of sods being turned, the amount of projects being opened in the last 3 weeks or so. What's the haste, especially in constituencies that are deemed marginal? Let me get your thoughts, Chris.
Kenrick, that is politics in this country. It
But
happened both sides of the divide.
so the culture remains the same then.
All the time. The same thing with the UNC.
And here it is. For the past couple of months, you heard nothing from the OWTU and the Patriotic Energies Company Limited and the government of the day concerning
between now and the election.
Petrotrin. Now,
that's what happened all the time in this country. And down on the wharf there, you see this one in the waterfront? I don't know who is trying to fool.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start to widen the road or clear anything, you have to dredge, you have to reclaim land.
Now hold on. 4 projects, and off the top of my head, Chris, 4 projects within the last 3 weeks would have engaged, would have been turned in San Fernando West. Here it is. You have this very, very first one. The chief magistrate. Oh, God, let me get it. It's blah 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 blah. Almost 80 million will be spent on the first phase of construction of the San Fernando District Court. That is one project.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is the widening of the road for the San Fernando Waterfront Development Project. That's 2.
Mm-hmm.
3. Sod was turned for the construction of over 200 houses in San Fernando West. 4. The opening of the crossing bridge. Now, does that tell you something? Is there a trend there? You tell me.
Well, first, it sure you mean there. But I am saying to Mr. Paris Sarwari this morning, before you widen the road to Waterfront Paris, you have to reclaim the land to move all those structures that on the waterfront now. Widening the road, in any event, that could mash up when you start to reclaim land. And the whole project is dependent on reclaiming land as it is in Point Pisas, and removing the abattoir, and removing the WASA office, PTSC relocating. And if you don't do that, you're not doing nothing. So don't come and fool me about widening road.
All right, well, I hear you there, Chris. But also to Nicole, there's a very interesting story developing. Grants were given out to certain people in San Fernando. And I found it very, very strange that only candidates representing the People's National Movement would have, quote-unquote, selected the necessary people to receive the grants. It is very, very interesting on the eve of a general election.
Well, Kenrick, it's what it is.
The silly season, yes? All right, let's take this caller. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 975. Now, this morning, just bear with me, caller. This morning, they're going to deem me a puppet or a sympathizer of the United National Congress. But I don't care. I just call it as I see it. Go ahead, caller.
And good morning to you, Mr. Kenrick.
No campaigning this morning, or I'm going to cut you off.
Oh, gosh. Why you treating me so?
No, I treating everybody the same way.
Yes, and I'm a loyalist.
No.
Let's go the loyalist and I'm getting the hamper.
Yeah.
I'm a loyalist to you, my brother.
All right, go ahead, friend.
You understand?
Go ahead.
When you rough me up, I just still come back. And I will attend to my wonderful station, a balanced station.
All right, go ahead.
Station at least we know. Yeah, don't take no basket from anybody.
All right, go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
Right. I listened to the leader of the PNM last night. Yes, on the news that he's telling the OWTU that when the Petrotrin and the last administration pocket with workers and they wasn't making no profit, right? He telling them, I telling you, he point them, all you will take it, and I know all you're going to use it, and all you're going to make profit here, all you're going to make profit. Why he didn't keep it and make the same profit, right? He went. You remember a place called the steel mill? It was owned by Trinidad. You remember that, Kenrick?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, my friend. Go ahead.
And if you go back to history, you will see who is the man that undermine and get sell. You understand? And the Indians come and they're making millions of dollars in profit. You know what I mean? But I see now today that the PNM is changed, cutting, turning, and cutting and doing all kind of thing. But why in about 20 days you want to do that? Why didn't do it all the time? He went and he talking to people in Port of Spain. He said 25 years ago people had no confidence motion in Prime Minister, and he was one of them recently.
Well, hold on, Mr. Bank Village. You're just rehashing everything Nicole and I would have said yesterday.
No,
make your point.
I know tune in, my friend.
Make your point.
No, right. You go on the way and tell them the building in Port of Spain that you're going to open a whole building. No taxpayers' money paying. That same money you can take it and give people the hampers. That's how you blame.
You know, they should refer to Trinidad and Tobago as the hamper country, you know. Everybody want a hamper. Everybody want a grant.
Handouts.
All I know about grant in Trinidad is New Grant and Grant Memorial Presbyterian School. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick, and morning, Anne.
Good morning,
Not
friend.
Anne, Nicole.
This is Nicole with me this morning.
Nicole, man, look, I was saying to feeling.
Yeah, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, you just start a war. Anyway, rainfall, you just start a war, but Bank Village will take you on. He just take you on, but it's all right.
Kenrick hurt his feelings. That's what happened.
Let me tell you something. I know PNM long time. I see coming to general election. They could open your door and all in your house.
No, but hold on. The point I am the point I am making to you and the listening audience is this. Let me clarify. Here it is. We are into 2020. We entering into a very aggressive election campaign. One would have been of the opinion that the culture of campaigning would change. Both parties do it. The both parties, the two major political parties do it. But here it is, I find it very strange that you can engage in these measures hoping to capture the imagination of the population outside there. I thought that would have changed. On the eve of a general election, you have all of these projects, all of these sods being turned.
Not forgetting the road paving.
Yeah, and the road paving too.
If I hear the joke, here what happens, you see all the projects they open, you will have somebody coming to file something to stop them from doing the project, and it will take 3 years until the election comes back again. That is going to happen. All the projects that they turn it sorry for, you bet my word. You see the waterfront, they go blame the fisherman for not coming to the meeting, and they can't do nothing about it. They go blame the next one down there, that Tigo Line Junction, and Gaza, we feeding them for 3-4 years, and they go forget it. You know, and all them kind of things. But what will catch me in this election, Kamala says she going to open back the sugarcane mill in St. Madeleine.
Well, it's not really to open the sugar industry. It's to set up a project that can produce sugar for domestic consumption and public to the region. Something like that.
Religion, this land and things she taking back the land on the people.
Yeah, but I want to ask how all of the infrastructures, I'm from the area, I can tell you.
It's all down.
Dilapidated.
Yeah. It's rotten.
Yes.
It's fall down.
But just recently, the Scrap Iron Dealers Association were asking to get permission to scrap that.
According to me and you and whatsoever, this is the serious survey. Say anything, everybody listen to you, and let it clap you. And then the whole thing. You can't fool me with that. Because I will still wait. I will still pay my rent for my land 40 years ago, and I will still wait. So they're ready to give it.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much for your thoughts that us here this morning. It's just about 13 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock. And note that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of the PNM's candidate for the constituency of Couva South, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. Let's take a caller on this line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Kenrick, they were falling back for us make sugar, they can't bring heat to Madden.
No, well, I know that our very own, his name is Ved Sriram, is engaged in some sort of project where he produces honey and to some extent some level of sugar and so on. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kenrick.
Hi, good morning,
I
my
will tell you
friend.
morning this morning first because the deal with Jane.
Yeah, the deal with me.
Do ever let a caller come in and introduce Ms. Duki and say good morning. You put off that good morning this morning. I ain't like that at all. Ms. Duki, good morning. Special good morning.
Good morning to you.
The next time that happens, I will threaten him, but this time I just warning him.
All right, my friend. Go ahead.
Have a blessed one. By this morning, well, I can't understand how this. Well, I living up in the New Grand area. Me even know that a big agro processing plant open up in Moruga.
You did not know that?
I didn't know that. But I hear that about it. This thing, this PNM really working on that. Going, we even know why. And the Dallas-Smith, to be honest with them, Mr. Kenrick, give the Prime Minister the jacket, right? The Dallas-Smith explanation. He sung good. I mean, we have to go and do some investigation and get the facts now to blame the man for anything. The man, like he had that excuse waiting, like he planned that excuse near the election, and he decided to hit it.
All right, my friend.
I'll call back another topic here.
I need to take a commercial break at this time, and when I come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the morning program. Stay with us here.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Davidson Safety Garments for all your industrial safety supplies. We supply a wide range of industrial needs such as face masks, coveralls, shirts and pants, jackets, aprons, lab coats, fire-resistant clothing, steel-toe boots, and we also do embroidery and printing. Visit Davidson Safety Garments Industrial Supplies Limited at number 163 Southern Main Road, Marabella, or call us at 289-0506, 289-0507, 289-0508, or WhatsApp us at 773-3863. Our fax number is 653-9271, or you can email us at sales@davidsonsafetygarments.com. Whatever your safety needs, we can supply.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
All will be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won, and we know we will win every time. Just keep the faith, heads up high. We're together in this, you and I. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be won, and we know we will win every time. And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote to protect the treasury. Vote is only Dr. Rowley, the right choice for TNT. PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM all the way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police, hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Just about 7 minutes here to the hour of 7 o'clock. That time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. As we continue to engage you in discussion, note, folks, that you can also WhatsApp us at 378-4975. Again, that WhatsApp number, 378-4975. And yeah, you can also call us at our regular numbers, 636-7547, 227-5739. Well, let me remind you of what are some of the bigger issues of the day. And I just want to keep you abreast, but I have these callers here on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, good people.
Good morning, Bawani. How are you this morning?
I wake up a little late.
You wake up a little late?
That is the luxury of retirement.
Retirement. Well, enjoy it, my friend. Enjoy it. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I see that the Granger government in Ghana has begun to get sanctioned by foreign entities.
You know, when I asked that question last week, people didn't take me on seriously. I said there could be sanctions and there could be repercussions over the delay in not announcing a leader.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So that is happening because I was in a meeting yesterday with somebody from Ghana and other countries, and they said, well, early this morning, the U.S. announced XYZ sanctions. I said, well, if the people don't want to give up power, you can expect a lot more. And it will have serious repercussions on families in the United States. You never know. So I don't know. Let's see how long the standoff is. And I hope, God forbid, we don't come to that in Trinidad. All right?
All right. So what's on your mind again, Bawani?
Well, Petrotrin coming. You understand?
No, but I find it very difficult to appreciate and fathom why this matter was not articulated on the platform within the last couple of months. It's here it is 3 weeks, so let's say 3 weeks before a general election. And now this is my opinion, my opinion, and I know what's an opinion like. I am saying to you and the listening audience this morning that the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, is putting the patriotic and by extension OWTU, backing him into a corner to sign this deal. Go ahead, Bawani.
Right. Yeah. Yes, Kenrick.
Yeah, I'm saying
now,
that.
If you notice, not just Petrochin, is everything else happening in these 2 weeks. The Daryl Smith issue. Remember in 2018 when people called for the report to be laid in Parliament or laid wherever, he said he couldn't read it, he couldn't present it because it had repercussions and complications and everything else. And now I don't know, but people are led to believe now that the report was sanitized and twisted, and the young lady can't say nothing because there's a clause inside that report. So we don't know whether that report is true or not, you know. So people think wisely, vote wisely, and on the 11th of August, we will continue to see wisely. Bye-bye.
Okay, my friend. Thank you very much. Well, there have been so much misinformation and so much being circulated concerning this Petrotrin refinery. Now, note, it's not Petrotrin being sold. It's the refinery. And the OWTU would have taken certain measures, would have offered to run and operate the refinery. The Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, now, on the eve of a general election, is telling Patriotic Energies, look, it is time all you fellas sign on the dotted line, you know, because if they do not assume power again, things could be different under the watch of Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the United National Congress government. That is if they win a general election. So here it is. The Prime Minister wants a patriotic deal closed before the election. In my humble opinion, the Prime Minister is actually bullying Patriotic
into signing the deal.
Energies to sign this deal. Bullying them. Anyway, that's another matter. You can share your thoughts with me this morning. But I just want to keep you abreast as to what are some of the major stories I want to talk about here today. Petrotrin deal ready. That's one of the stories. And this would have escaped people. Larry Sammy would have made this suggestion some time back, where he said that the government of the day should lend some sort of financial assistance to those nationals who cannot get home because of the borders being closed. Now, yesterday we heard from Minister of National Security Stuart Young that measures are now being taken to ensure that this group of people get some sort of assistance through the embassies abroad. So that's a developing story.
Yes, but that is not everybody. It's just those who really need the assistance.
That's right. That's right. So it will be quite difficult, quite challenging to make such a determination,
Yes.
Nicole.
I guess the embassies will have to assess these persons to see if they really, really need the money.
Because if you go abroad for a holiday and you would have gotten trapped, you do not have the means whereby to pay your bills and whatnot, you'll have to make now an application to the embassy.
That's right.
The embassy will have to make that determination whether you qualify or not. So it comes like the salary review grant. Relief grant, sorry.
I mean, people are still waiting for that, even in even in Tobago, when they give grants for the hotels to get refurbishment work done during the time that we were on lockdown. We are out of lockdown, and they still have not started to receive their monies yet.
No, I am not criticizing the measure. Note, I am not criticizing the measure. But I find it very interesting on the eve of an election.
Yes.
This too is being announced. You understand?
Kenrick, I guess you know, and I know, and all of Trinidad and Tobago know what really happens around election time.
Let's take this caller before I go up to the 7 o'clock newscast with Irma Ratan Singh. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Kenrick.
Good morning, sir.
You talk like a fool. I say, your station, and we done passed that long time from the beginning. We are saying the embassy should have assess people and assist them. We passed that long time. But I want to know how to take so according to you.
Well, you see,
they probably now listen to us.
You see, I told you these people listen to us.
Yeah, but Kenrick, we all got lost conquer the amount of things PNM doing for the election, we lost it, you can't keep tracking.
Well, look, I as a media operative, I ought to know, yes? But sometimes I am challenged to even alert the audience as to what are some of the projects.
Nicole, we got to give our
I will give Umar that exercise a bit later on.
Next election might catch you conking one more thing to do.
All right, friend. I need to go up to the 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's take the 7 o'clock newscast with Umar Ratan Singh and we'll continue with our discussion. Note that a bit later on in the program, I'll be trying to get in touch with Joel D'Souza, a political and social activist operating out of San Fernando. Stay with us here, 975.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Umar Ratan Singh. Good morning. $80 million would be spent on the first phase of the construction of the San Fernando District Court. The sod was turned during a ceremony yesterday. Attorney General and Member of Parliament for San Fernando West, Faris Al-Rawi, was present at the ceremony. He said there was urgent need to reform the magistrates' court system. He said this included new physical infrastructure and new technological methods to speed up matters and new and effective processes to accommodate a faster judicial system. The AG said the San Fernando Magistrates Court functioned in bad conditions, hence the need for the AG's office to transfer 75,000 square feet of land that it owned to the judiciary. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has warned that returning to the Petrotrin Pointe-à-Pierre refinery to the ownership of the state is not a good decision. The warning came during the Petrotrin land distribution program in Palo Seco yesterday. He said if that is allowed to happen, then the country would be headed to the IMF.
If they proceed with their foolishness, God forbid that on August 10th they become the government on sometime after, and they proceed to keep that promise, it would mean that we are back not just to square one, but square one minus, because the Minister of Finance will then have to treat with the bondholders.
The Prime Minister slammed the opposition for the thought of bringing back the refinery.
What level of stupidity is this? Where you would see the profitability of the restructuring by way of the operations of Heritage, and you would pass that up for political stupidity to go and try to recreate the problem that we were in.
The voice of the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. Trinidad and Tobago has received 10,000 cloth face masks and 14 non-contact handheld thermometer scanners. This came from the United States Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, Joseph Mondello. The donation was received by National Security Minister Stuart Young at his head in Port of Spain. Young expressed his gratitude for the items. He stated that they will assist with government's effort to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Both the Prime Minister and the Ambassador noted that the donation demonstrates the existing long-standing bilateral security cooperation and friendship between TNT and the U.S. The ODPM will oversee distribution of these protective items to the various divisions and agencies of the Ministry of National Security. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has chastised Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram. This comes after the CMO recommended that youths should avoid sporting activities until September, which is when schools are set to reopen. Parasram was speaking at the Daily Media Conference yesterday. He was asked about the Youth Pro League in particular, since Griffiths previously said approval was granted for the games. In a press release on Wednesday, the police commissioner expressed concern that Dr. Parasram's comments were confusing, as he saw it as an instruction rather than an expert opinion. Government is sending funding to citizens living abroad. However, the funding will be for neediest cases. This is according to National Security Minister Stuart Young. He was speaking at the virtual media briefing on Wednesday. Minister Young held discussions with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on the issue.
He's going to be asking the Minister of Finance to send certain sums of money to our consulates or missions or embassies in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States to try and assist how we can. Now, it's going to be limited sums of money sent to the most needy cases and the most legitimate of cases.
Minister Young said exemptions have been granted for a number of nationals to return home in the coming weeks. 76 nationals were expected to return to the country on Wednesday. On Friday, another 71 nationals will be brought home.
Only 19 individuals, and most of those are family members, so a father, a mother, and 3 children are going into the state-supervised quarantine. So that means we need room for 52 individuals. They are going to the home of football.
The voice of Minister Young. Moving on regionally. The presidents of the Caribbean Development Bank and Inter-American Development Bank and Chief Executive Officer of IDB Invest signed a cooperation agreement. The new agreement between the IDB Group and CDB supports economic development and integration of the Caribbean community and common market. The signing ceremony is a reaffirmation of CDB and IDB's shared commitment to the sustainable growth and development of the Caribbean region. The agreement was signed at a virtual ceremony connecting CDB and IDB headquarters in Barbados and Washington, D.C. by video conference. Internationally, official figures indicate that the number of workers on UK company payrolls fell by 649,000 between March and June. The number of people claiming work-related benefits last month was 2.6 million. The overall jobless rate was unchanged, but there are 47,000 more young people unemployed than there were a year ago. Unemployment has not surged as many feared because large numbers of firms have put employees on the government-backed vacation scheme. But economists say the full effect of the employment will not be felt until the scheme ends in October. And on to the weather forecast. There is a significant amount of Saharan dust present in the atmosphere. Sensitive persons are asked to take the necessary precautions. Today will experience generally and sunny, hazy conditions despite a few brief showers. There is the low chance of a heavy afternoon shower and thunderstorm favoring western and southern areas of Trinidad. Seas light to moderate with waves 1 to 1.5 meters in open waters and near calm in sheltered areas. Temperatures are expected to reach to a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. High tides at 1:39 p.m., low tides at 6:35 p.m., sunset at 6:31 p.m. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news. Join us at 8 a.m. for more news. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a safe and good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNL.
And that was a paid political announcement. And as we continue to cover the politics of the day and get the thoughts of stakeholders within the fraternity, with me on the line now is Joel D'Souza. She is a political and social activist operating out of San Fernando. Let's get her on the line. Good morning, Joel, and how are you this morning? Good morning to you.
Good morning, and how are you today?
Well, we are doing fine.
Your radio station.
Well, we are doing fine this morning. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and thank you very much for taking our call this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. You are very concerned as to what is happening in South Trinidad, more so in San Fernando, and might I also add, in San Fernando West. You operate your business out of San Fernando West.
Yes, I've been here for 30 years.
All right. And you would have thrown your hat into the political ring some time back.
Yes,
and
2015.
all right. You would have also indicated some time ago that you would have been quite interested in entering the contest again as an independent candidate. Can you share your thoughts with us? Bring us up to speed?
Well, what happened? Would you like to know why I decided not to go? Or would you like to know why I decided to go?
All right, I want to know why you have decided now not to enter the contest.
All right. First, to begin, Trinidad and Tobago is at its lowest point here, in the sense that we are practically bankrupt, and I thought that, with good political sense and with doing all these strategic polls, I realized that independent, I could not have won. And so I decided that it would be best for the country if I step aside and, decided who would be the best person for San Fernando West. And I did have a chat with most of the people. As you know, I am very familiar with San Fernando. San Fernando is actually me, and I got to know Sean Sobers and many of the other candidates. But I thought that Sean Sobers was actually the best person for the job. And so I decided that, I put my support behind Sean and work with him for a better San Fernando West.
All right. Within the last 5 years, your constituency, or rather San Fernando West, would have been represented by Faris Al-Rawi. Share your thoughts with us this morning, Joel. Your thoughts on his representation.
Faris is a real gentleman. You wouldn't get him to discredit you in any sort of way. He has always been, I would say that it just shows that in representation, it is very difficult to be the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago and also a parliamentarian who is a member of Parliament. So I can't say that I would say anything bad about him, but San Fernando West has been really neglected. We've had a further 5 years of actually no progress at all. San Fernando was really once the hub of it all. We have oil. We had most of the prime ministers coming out of San Fernando, and here it is. We have had nothing for the last 20 years. The last time we had good representation was under Sadiq Bash, under the United National Congress, and after that, we've had no representation at all. San Fernando has stayed exactly as it is for the last 20 years.
Okay, so you talk about representation, but in recent times and within the last 3 weeks or so, a number of suds would have been turned for a project in San Fernando. And also the crossing bridge, a project promised by the People's National Movement Administration, would have been delivered to the people. My question to you, political gimmickry or actually delivering and promises to the people of San Fernando West?
That bridge was done by a San Fernando man by the name of Kazim Hussein, who is actually in the PNM, but his heart is for the people. And so the bridge is not a gimmickry. It was actually old, broken, falling apart. So that bridge was earmarked a long time ago. I wouldn't call that. I'd call the San Fernando turning of this the waterfront. I'd call that a gimmickry, because that, I mean, you waited until you're exiting out of office to bring that waterfront. I mean, let's face it, since Ralph Mirage was there, he showed them the way forward how we would do the waterfront. And so I think that is a gimmickry. I think that putting up the Prime Minister putting up that vegetable thing in Moruga, I think that is a gimmickry. I think all of that is political, and people know that.
No, but I'm trying to focus on San Fernando West, because San Fernando West, even this week, the South was turned for the San Fernando District Court. This is what I want to get from you.
San Fernando District Court has been going on for years. Haven't you seen our courts? How we have it? It's actually been down for years. We use one court in San Fernando.
And also
all of that would be gimmickry. It's a show. We have 10 more days or 20 more days again before, and it's all a show. There's nothing happening here. Nothing has happened.
And even with that in mind, this week, of course, a number of people would have received certain grants to rehabilitate their houses and so on. And that was done this week in San Fernando by the National Commission for Self-Help. What are your thoughts?
Well, between you and me, many governments, as you know, successive governments have given grants up to the day before general election, and that still didn't win them a general election. I truly believe that this San Fernando seat would be won by Sean Sobers, and that's just exactly what it is. It's going to be won by Sean Sobers.
No, but why would you say that the seat would be won by the United National Congress and by extension Sean Sobers?
Because Sean has really worked for his seat. He has gone to people, every single San Fernandian. You know, he's not. Faris has been missing for 5 years. You put up a slogan that says it's something to mean like where it's been so long since I've seen you. You know, it just goes to show that, you know, his slogan shows that he was really absent for the last 5 years, and people will not forgive him for that. San Fernando people are different. They're not going to just roll over and accept that. They will take what you're giving them, but they will vote you out.
Okay, Joel, as a business person, what are some of the challenges and what are some of the issues?
Well, that is a very good question that you've raised. Because Faris Al-Rawi was born and grown up in San Fernando, you would have expected that he would have taken a deeper decision when it came to Petrotrin. Petrotrin, in all honesty, to all of us, could have been restructured and allowed to continue. The Prime Minister closed down Petrotrin. We are some 3 years later not knowing what is going on with Petrotrin. And so you would think that anybody who was a member of Parliament would have put his constituents before himself. He put his party before his constituents. And as a business person and as a person who knows San Fernandians, I will tell you, we will never forget that.
All right, as a business person, what are some of the measures you would like to see in any administration getting into power?
I want to see them turn that waterfront not into just for people to go for vagrants and for nothing. I want to see it as something similar to that they've got in St. Martin, where the waterfront actually brings in tourists, and you can have shops and you can have duty-free shopping. That, I think, will really bring San Fernando's credibility back to standard. I thought they could put a theater so that's something that they have in Vegas, where the stars go and they sing, you know. I thought that they could really take the waterfront to another level, you know, for business reasons, and bring San Fernando back to its glory. We are the second city in San Fernando, yet we're one of the poorest cities. JB, our neighboring city, Pinal, Shogunas, they have fast apart or growth. And we're supposed to be the second city.
All right. Finally, Joel, your fate, or rather, your future as a politician, do you see yourself taking any further active part in, let's say, conventional politics?
Absolutely. I can't really tell you where I'm going to be in my life in the next 5 years. What I can tell you is that what is important to me is that San Fernando is restored to some sort of, I want to make sure that San Fernando is restored to something. And I can only see that at this present time with the candidate for the United National Congress, Sean Sobers. And so unless that changes and somebody can come up with a better plan, yes, you will see me again in politics, because we will make certain that we get that representation that we rightfully deserve.
All right, Ban, before I let you go, look into your crystal ball and tell me, who do you anticipate will win this 2020 general election?
You would not like what I would have to say.
No. Yeah, I'm just asking you to be very honest and very frank indeed.
Well, I'll be very honest with you. I think that the People's National Movement would capture the government. You know, I just think that I feel that they will capture the government, but I don't think they will capture the San Fernando West seat.
All right, Joel, I want to thank you very much for sharing some thought with us this morning. Always a pleasure talking to you, and we'll keep you posted. And I want to share another conversation with you sometime before the election is through. Okay?
Yes, we'll do so.
Okay,
thank you, and have a great day.
Okay, thank you very much,
Bye-bye.
Joel. Yeah, that's Joel D'Souza, operating out of San Fernando, a political and social activist. She would have indicated sometime back, or rather, Joel would have indicated sometime back that her interest into conventional politics to contest as an independent candidate, but she would have mentioned to us this morning that that's not going to happen. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to the management and staff of U97.5 FM.
Well, you see, when I told you that the operators, government operatives listen to us, you doubt me. You see, they take your suggestion and run with it.
Well, that is why the reason I'm calling.
Yes, go ahead.
Because you see, many of our callers on this radio frequency, Kenrick, we have answers to bring this country to normalcy. But who really listening? And I mentioned in the past that why don't the government of the day liaise with the different, representative in foreign countries who
embassies.
Have genuine cases.
Embassies.
The embassies,
yeah.
Right, because there are a lot of people who went on vacation. I'm not talking about people who were residing there for 10 and 15 years, right? Who were residing as a holiday visitor visa for the past 4 or 5 months or 3 months, as the case may be. Because I can tell you this much. The same case that we were clamoring on, Mrs. Stanton, you know she got the help, right?
Yes.
Good. So you see how far words can reach people and how help can reach people in a very quick space of time. At the end of the day, we have some answers. I just listened to Joelle on your interview, and she was saying that Debe and Pinal is far more grown than San Fernando, which is true. But at the end of the day, Kenrick, one of the major issues in the southern area, and Joelle forgot to mention it, is that we suffer the flooding issues. That is why in every area of the country, if you call people and you do interviews with them, every area of this country have a different issue to deal with. And Joelle is quite right. All of these soil tilling and stuff for buildings to be put down on waterfront is real gimmick to the population. So I'm glad to know that the government of the day, Faris Alwari and Stuart Young, has taken the initiative to take some of the coronavirus money that was given to this country, other different organizations from other countries, and start to help our citizens who are there on holidays so that they could pay their rent, buy some food to keep them going until our borders are open. I am very, very much pleased this morning to hear that. It lifts me up this morning to know that what I said, I see it came to pass, and I congratulate them, even though they're not doing 100% their best. But I congratulate the initiative that they take, so some people can get a sense of mind that, the government is really trying to help them along the way in this corona pandemic that we are suffering.
But hold on, Larry. You would understand and appreciate that there are certain measures in place. It's not across the board that a determination must be made by the embassy's officials to determine rather who would be beneficiaries of these this relief or this financial help.
And that's the reason why I said people who went on a vacation to visit family or take a little time off from their work, who went for a month or two and get trapped when our borders was closed. The credit card may be maxed out, they maybe don't have paper money in their hand that they can use. These are the cases I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people who were living there 20 and 15 years. They want to come back to Trinidad. But Kenrick, that is something serious going to happen in this country. A lot of Americans, who living in America from Trinidad here, they realize now that they were not in the system. And now they realize Trinidad is a place where we have no kind of such major case with corona. They feel they could come back now and enjoy the fruits of this land. It's going to be a very much challenging situation for this country in a short space of time to come when and if our borders are open. So it's something to look at. And I want to thank the Attorney General once again and Stuart Young for making that initiative. I am lifted this morning. I feel good. Have a pleasant and good day.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your contribution with us here this morning, Larry. As we move on with our conversation, note that you can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. You're with the morning program with yours truly, Kenrick Juggernaut, and of course, Nicole Dookie. And we will be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning. Stay with us here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's go to some commercials this morning.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline, Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Let's talk Guyana. Join us as we share news and issues coming out of Guyana, Mondays to Fridays at 11 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM only way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the police, hey.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, a Hot Like Pepper, as we continue to engage you as we look at all of the developments taking place in the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. I would have had a conversation this morning with Joel D'Souza. She operates out of San Fernando, a political and social activist. Looking into the crystal ball, Joel would have said that the People's National Movement would walk away with victory in the 2020 general election. But to this end, she is throwing her support behind Sean Sobers, who is the UNC's candidate for the San Fernando West constituency. He'll be coming up against Nikolai Edwards and also to Faris Al-Rawi, Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call, but we continue with our discussion. Yes, this story is making the news, is making the rounds this morning, and I just want to share it with you here this morning. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced visa restrictions on individuals undermining democracy and said that the Granger administration must respect the results of democratic elections and step aside. Speaking at the State Department in Washington, Pompeo said that immediate family members of these individuals could be affected. That with visa restrictions. Certainly a development taking place in Guyana as it relates to the 2nd of March general election in that country. There's no light at the end of the tunnel as yet. The matter seems to be stalled and it's in limbo. And this morning we're discussing this matter concerning the sale of the Petrotrin refinery. And a report is telling us that the government is ready to sign deal with Patriotic Energies and Technologies Limited, a wholly owned company of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union. And on to another interesting story here. Well, the story is saying 8 acres of state lands for cemetery. And we would have spoken about the 2020 general election, and this morning I asked the question, political gimmickry or delivering on a promise by the government of the day. Listen to this. As a Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley handed over legal documents for the development of a Muslim cemetery yesterday. Former House Speaker Nizam Mohammed said the Muslim community is willing and ready to work with the government. Now, let me add, I am from South Trinidad. I border with the constituency of Moruga, Tablan, Princestown, and Naparima, and I can tell you there's a level or rather, there's a great Muslim influence in these communities, and they vote in a particular manner. But I don't want to get into that this morning. Maybe you can share your thoughts with me. Yes, and Larry would have told me, or Larry would have made the suggestion sometime this week, that some sort of financial assistance should be given to nationals living abroad, especially those nationals who are bent on coming back home. And because of the borders being closed, these nationals are having a difficult time in maintaining themselves and paying bills and what have you. Now, according to National Security Minister Stuart Young, measures are now being put in place to assist those people. And when I say those people who are in need, who are in genuine need. Now, note that a determination will be made and must be made by operators of the various embassies, especially in the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada. These embassies will be the body that is charged with determining who these people are. That is, those people who are in need of this much financial need. So it's not across the board. So we'll continue to keep you abreast of that story. Let's take a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. You need to call us back, 636-7547, 227-5739. We're heading up to the hour of 8 o'clock. Just about 19 minutes here to the hour of 8. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning again, and Duki.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, this Guyana election. How much? What was the result in that Guyana election? You know.
Well, according to the Guyana Elections Commission, and according to those independent observers, it would appear that the Progressive Party, that they would have won the election, they would have gotten most of the votes. But there was a recount, and this matter is now being challenged. So I'm just trying to paraphrase what is going on there.
But why does Granger don't want to hand over power?
Well, I don't know, boy. Some people feel that they have the divine right, so to speak, of course, the divine right to run a particular country, you know.
So Bona was there before, and he mashed up the country.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, come now, we find some oil, and he get to mash up the country too.
Mm-hmm. No, hold on. The thing about it, the world is looking on at what is happening in Guyana, you know. And even us here, that is the CARICOM, and the OAS and the European Union, they have been calling on those stakeholders in Guyana to ensure that good sense prevail.
But why? My problem is why is that them allowing themselves to go so far just to hand over the thing, right?
No, but I just told you, there's something called power, boy. People don't like to give up power.
Well, we know Trinidad about the power thing, but I mean, in Guyana was under Bona that mash up the place. You mean Granger come and he find some oil there. Instead, he hand over the power and had the thing running nice and good because he will be the opposition leader in any case.
No, but Pompeo is saying, look, that if good sense do not prevail and Granger and his team do not step aside, there could be further restrictions on the Guyanese people, and he have already decided that those people who are engaged and ensuring that democracy does not prevail, well, look, they will face restrictions.
You know what I'm saying? All now, United States should ban that whole Granger government and family down the road, don't enter nowhere and put restriction on them. All the money and thing where they have away and thing, keep it. Don't give them it. It's a little bit of power, use opposition leader. You can't hand over the thing and say on right hand side. But all I like too much of damn power for as I concern.
All right, friend. Well, thank you very much. Well, that's the point I've been trying to make to you all morning. The lust for power. People have a tendency, you're a bit reluctant to give up power, you know. And with power come a lot of perks and what have you. You enjoy all that life has to offer at a certain level. So it's difficult for some people to give up power. Anyway, I need to take a commercial break at this time. And when I come back, I'll continue with our discussion with you right here on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Just about 17 minutes here to the hour of 8 o'clock. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of the PNM's candidate for the Couva South constituency. Stay with us here, 975.
Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
So guys, the party continues this
Saturday. Yes, this Saturday, the Hot Like Pepper Reloaded continues from 8 to 12 noon. Sharon Baru alongside DJ Vishal, 12 noon to 3 p.m. The captain takes full flight. Yes, Captain Kendall Juggernaut from 12 noon to 3 p.m. From 3 to 7 p.m. DJ Anil is in with the Hot Like Pepper mix. And from 7 to 1 a.m. the man Corky D is in the building and will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com for the Hot Like Pepper Saturdays Reloaded.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is a PNM power. PNM, a positive healing power. PNM, moving forward together. PNM, introducing Rishi, my brother.
All of we is one family. All of we is one family. Working together to build this country. When the world was breaking, everyone agreed. When the world was breaking, be happy it was seen. And that is why we voted for our country.
On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. You're with the morning program with yours truly, Kenrick Juggernaut and Nicole Dookie. And you can call us this morning at 636-7547, 227-5739. Now, the two Tobago seats, that is Tobago West and Tobago East, are these two seats are key to the People's National Movement retaining power. And there are some developments taking place in Tobago. I've been trying to get in touch with Christlyn Moore, who is the head of the Tobago Forwards, to get her thoughts on what is happening in Tobago. Now, Watson Duke, who is the minority leader and also a political leader of his party, he would have made certain claims against One Tobago Voice. Now, the One Tobago Voice are three parties coming together under one umbrella. And there were some measures being taken to unite against the People's National Movement. That did not happen. A meeting was scheduled. That meeting was cancelled. And to this end, Christlyn Moore would have responded to the thoughts and the utterances coming from Watson Duke. Hence my reason for trying to get in touch with her this morning. But I promise you that I'll try to get in touch with her a bit later on, if not sometime probably tomorrow. Let's go to the lines again. Hello, good morning, welcome. Okay, sorry to miss your call. You need to call me back, 636-7547, 227-5739. So let's stay with the story for a while, because it's this development taking place in Guyana is of utmost interest to us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Because we've got a large population of Guyanese living in this country. And the story said U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo yesterday announced visa restrictions on individuals undermining democracy here, and said that the David Granger administration must respect the results of democratic elections and step aside. Now, I would have spoken with this matter with Nirvan Maharaj. Oh, by the way, Mr. Maharaj will be on the program with me tomorrow, and this is a matter I will discuss with him. He did indicate that there could be some repercussions in the sense that he envisaged that if this matter continues as it is, there could be some sort of a social unrest developing in Guyana. Now, while we do not want to encourage and see that happening in our neighboring country, I am hoping that maybe good sense can prevail, and the Granger administration, based on the results coming in thus far, based on the position taken by CARICOM, the Organization of American States, the European Union, and other entities, that Granger should step aside and allow the voice of the people, so to speak, of course, the voice of the people to be heard. Let's go to the lines again. Hello, good morning. Hello? All right, I don't know what's wrong with our lines this morning, but the lines are burning up, but something is not right this morning. We'll try to sort that out. Yes. So it's just about 10 minutes here to the hour of 8 o'clock. And note that time check came to you to the kind courtesy of the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick.
All right, good morning. You hear me loud and clear, yes?
Very much so.
Okay, go ahead. What's on your mind? Go ahead.
Kenrick, the UNC seem to have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. You know that famous sporting quotation?
Mm-hmm.
The party who I thought would have won the election seems to do everything possible to lose the election. And when I think about, for example, your candidate in Princestown, Barry Padarat, who is now in quarantine, who the people of this country should remember, left this country for I don't know what reason. He went to the United States to quarantine himself in a country that has the most cases and the most deaths, right, with his family. And he is yet to be seen in the constituency that he is contesting. I don't know if that is how the party intends to put forward candidates.
All right, so you're saying because of Barry's recent action that it will be quite challenging for the UNC to retain the Princestown constituency. That's what you're saying?
No, the UNC will win Princestown.
Okay.
Because the people, I'm not saying we, I including myself, we are a nation of hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We like to boast that we're religious because we go to church, but the truth is we believe in nothing religious. But the constituency of Barataria Sawa, the constituency of San Fernando West, the constituency of Chaguanas East, St. Augustine, those constituencies that the UNC think that they are going to win, they are going to find themselves on the losing end. And I have a feeling...
No, hold on. There must be a reason, or you must have some sort of evidence to support your position. Go ahead. What are they?
The evidence is that when the political leader submitted the list of candidates to fight the election, it was the most weakest moment in the strategy of the UNC in this election. Those candidates, Khadija Amin, who fought Jack Warner in Chaguanas West, did not win a polling division. They were 51. Right? She did not win one. Right? This lady, one of her campaign promises in Chaguanas West was to marry a guy. She didn't even keep that promise. When she goes to St. Augustine, she must tell people on what basis we must vote for her. If it's just a vote for Kamala, or if it's just a vote for the UNC, or if it's a vote for her because she's so good. Right? She will go down in history as the next Wade Mark who cannot win a seat. And they're given a seat all over the place to try and win. the people of this country are not going to support that. The PNM voters don't move, but there's a group of swing voters that is moved. And when they look at that option, Khadija Amin, Saddam Hussein, Sean Sobers, Vandana Mohit, and others, they are not going with that. The party, tomorrow's nomination day,
but hold on. Don't you think that in essence, party faithfuls and party supporters would support the party as opposed to a candidate?
Correct, they will. But that support to win the marginals. You need people to move over to you. Right? And those people determine who form the government. Imagine this is the worst government this country has ever seen in its history.
Mm-hmm.
But worse than that is the opposition. Right? Kamala Persad-Bissessar pick a team that when she sits in opposition, they must say she must be the opposition leader. She didn't pick a team to form government.
Oh, you are saying that Kamala Persad-Bissessar would have engaged in what you call political insurance?
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
No, that's my term. Maybe I should copyright that.
But it's third-party insurance, eh?
No, but you understand what I'm talking about? Political insurance.
Political insurance. That is exactly... Now, everybody that opposed Kamala in the internal elections, at some point, she refused to... Well, not everybody, except two, which is Rudy Indar Singh and Rudy Munilal. Those two persons... But if she had moved those two persons, which they represent the history and base of the party, then they could have made a political move. Otherwise, that could have been detrimental to the UNC.
All right. Having said all that to me this morning, you do not see the UNC capturing government.
Not at all. I live in the south. I know what Pointe-Pierre looks like. I know what San Fernando West look like. Imagine Sean Sobers in a press statement quoted, big headline, says that Faris Al-Rawi is a decent fella. Right? And for 4.5 years, the UNC cussing Faris Al-Rawi as a crook.
No,
Attorney General.
No, but hold on. Joel D'Souza spoke to me this morning, a political and social activist, and she described Faris as a decent man, but she spoke about his representation.
So how you see this double speaking? I can't understand. How could he be a decent man and then he fooling people? That don't make sense to me, because Faris Al-Rawi, everybody complains that they don't see him in San Fernando, and the truth is he don't live San Fernando. He don't care about San Fernando. So how he could be a decent man? A decent man in what way? Right? We cannot be applying a different yardstick for different things. People have one life,
All right. So as we end our conversation, you are saying that the UNC will not capture government based on the level of candidates they would have put forward to the electorate. That's what you're saying?
Correct. I am saying that the party look like they're going in with 13 seats in the opposition.
All right, my friend. Well, actually, you have a crystal ball. Thank you very much for your thoughts with us here this morning as we head up to the hour of 8 o'clock. We're going to take the 8 o'clock newscast. And when we come back, I will try again to get in touch with Crystal Moore, because it's important that I get her thoughts on these recent developments taking place in Tobago. Stay with us here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let me keep you a bit entertained this morning, and why Lord Funny is saying that Trinidad and Tobago is sweet Trinidad and Tobago. Stay with us here, 975.
FM Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Rajan Singh. Good morning. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has warned that returning to the Petrotrin Point-a-Pierre refinery to ownership of the state is not a good decision. The warning came during the Petrotrin land distribution program in Palo Seco yesterday. He said, if that is allowed to happen, then the country will be headed to the IMF.
If they proceed with their foolishness, God forbid that on August 10th they become the government on sometime after, and they proceed to keep that promise, it would mean that we are back not just to square one, but square one minus, because the Minister of Finance will then have to treat with the bondholders.
The Prime Minister slammed the opposition for the thought of bringing back the refinery.
What level of stupidity is this? Where you would see the profitability of the restructuring by way of the operations of Heritage, and you would pass that up for political stupidity to go and try to recreate the problem that we were in.
The voice of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. Government is sending funding to citizens living abroad. However, the funding will be to the neediest cases. This, according to National Security Minister Stuart Young. He was speaking at the virtual media briefing on Wednesday. Minister Young held discussions with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on the issue.
He's going to be asking the Minister of Finance to send certain sums of money to our consulates or missions or embassies in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States to try and assist how we can. Now, it's going to be limited sums of money sent to the most needy cases and the most legitimate of cases.
Minister Young said exemptions have been granted for a number of nationals to return home in the coming weeks. 76 nationals were expected to return to the country on Wednesday, and on Friday another 71 nationals would be brought home.
Only 19 individuals, and most of those are family members, so a father, a mother, and 3 children are going into the state-supervised quarantine. So that means we need room for 52 individuals. They are going to the home of football.
The voice of Minister Stuart Young. And in the political frontline, UNC leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar is promising Trinidad and Tobago that they would see a return of its once thriving sugar manufacturing business. This, according to the UNC leader, who promised that her party will revive the sugar industry in TNT with establishment of the Using St. Madeleine sugar manufacturing facility. Persad-Bissessar said a new UNC government will resume its major focus on all-inclusive development of the abandoned, neglected and suffering rural and poor urban communities. She accused Dr. Keith Rowley-led government of subjecting citizens from rural and poor urban communities to endure inequality, deliberate neglect and cruel abandonment by the state. Leader of the Tobago Forwards, Christlyn Moore, now affiliated with One Tobago Voice, blames the leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, for failure to unite the parties. In response, Duke throws shade at OTV, calling them politically dead. Moore joined with Tobago Organization of the People, headed by Ashworth Jack, and the Platform of Truth, headed by Ho Choi Charles, to form OTV, according to a letter dated July 14th, addressed to Duke and posted on social media. Moore waded into Duke, stating, "It has been regrettable that we have not been able to collaborate. This failure rests solely on you." She accuses Duke of mismanagement of the truth and noted that during her encounters with him over the past 7 years, she has not been able to trust him. Moore says statements attributed to him in the media about the PDP's relationship with OTV are misleading and completely false. Testing for COVID-19 in TNT continues as 36 more samples have been sent to CAFA and UWI site. The Ministry of Health made the revelation in its 6 p.m. clinical update yesterday, noting that the total number of samples sent for evaluation is 5,883, while the number of samples which have tested positive remains at 133. There is presently 1 active case, and 124 others have been discharged from hospital. The number of deaths stands at 8. Members of the public are reminded that they must adhere to the new normal recommendations and take personal health measures to protect themselves and their loved ones from COVID-19. As parts of the country faces water shortage, the Water and Sewerage Authority is advising customers in parts of southeast Trinidad served by the Navet Water Treatment Plant that there will be an interruption in their pipe-borne water supply between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. today. According to WASA, this has become necessary to facilitate emergency repair works to a ruptured 32-inch diameter transmission pipeline at St. John's Road, Piparu. Areas to be affected include New Grant, Hard Bargain, Craignish Village, Matilda, Indian Walk, Hindustan, and Whiteland, amongst other surrounding areas. Customers are advised that it may take up to 24 hours for the service to normalize to some affected areas in accordance with pipe-borne water supply schedules. Customers are asked to contact WASA's customer call center at 800-4420-4426 or for more information, call for assistance. And in the news of crime, a 23-year-old Princestown man has charged with 4 murders which occurred in May 2020. The accused, Anthony Mitchell, also known as Pookie of St. Croix Road, has been charged with the murders of Waima Jose Rocio Macano, Daniel Mitchell, Jose Sereno, and Aaron George on May 25th at Daly Road, New Grant, Princestown. The charges were laid upon by instructions of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Roger Gaspard, yesterday. The suspect was arrested as a result of painstaking investigations, which was spearheaded by the Homicide Bureau of Investigations in collaboration with support of RAU, CSMU, Southern Division, Northern Division, SORT, and other internal and external partners. Missing persons are causing great concern in this country as Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is seeking the urgent assistance of the public in locating sisters 23-year-old Kirsten Charles and 19-year-old Zakura Charles. Kirsten and Zakura of Long Circular Road, Pointe-a-Pierre, were last seen at 12:45 p.m. on July 12th at their home. They were reported missing to the St. Margaret's Police Station on July 14th at 6:20 a.m. by a relative. Kirsten is of African descent, medium built, and brown complexion. She was last seen wearing a blue denim jacket, a red skirt, and a pair of red sandals, while Zakura is of the same physical description but was last seen wearing a pink blouse and a pair of pink pants. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of the sisters are asked to call 800-TIPS or 482-GARY. Regionally in Grenada, A British woman who went to Grenada for a short trip in March when she was 6 months pregnant is stranded there with her new baby 4 months after the start of the country's lockdown. J.D. Haynes Narayan, 32, went to Grenada on March 11th with her mother to visit relatives. However, the country went into lockdown just days after she arrived. She realized she was not going to be able to get home to Britain for the birth of her baby, who was born on May 13th, slightly premature and weighing 5 pounds. The new mother has been told that the first flight available back to the UK is with British Airways at the beginning of September, with seats costing £1,250 each. Internationally, Iran denied an Indian newspaper report that New Delhi was dropped from a key rail project along the border with Afghanistan after it showed reluctance in investigating fearing American sanctions. A deputy to Iran's Ports and Maritime Organization, Farhad Monistas, called the story totally false because Iran has not linked any deal with India regarding the Zahadian Railway. Iran has only signed 2 agreements with India for investments in Chabahar. One is related to ports, machinery and equipment, and the second is related to India's investment to the tune of $150 million. The Hindu newspaper reported on Tuesday that Iranian government decided to proceed with the long-stalled rail project without India's participation. And on to the weather forecast. There is a significant amount of Saharan dust present in the atmosphere, and sensitive persons are asked to take the necessary precautions. Today will be sunny and hazy Conditions are expected despite a brief showery spells and interruptions. There is a 30% chance of a heavy shower or thunderstorm favoring western and southern Trinidad during the afternoon. Temperatures are expected to reach a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. High tides at 1:39 p.m., low tides at 6:35 p.m. And that brings us to the end of the news to 8 a.m. Join us at 10 a.m. for our news update, and stay tuned for more on New Talk with Kenrick Jagannath. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. For all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations: Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Kathy School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Only the people can save the people. This is the mantra of the National Solidarity Assembly. Join its political leader and president of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Nirvan Maharaj, as he invites you to join these organizations and other top executives on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper for 2 one-hour monthly features as they discuss the concerns and challenges facing the working class of this country, tackling the issues, generating bold talk, finding solutions, bringing the workers' agenda to the front burner, and providing a new vehicle. That's the NSA's mission. Be part of this informative panel discussion with operatives from the NSA. Only happening here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
And that was a paid political message from Mr. Rajendra Ramprasad. Well, with me on the line now is Omar Khan, who is the manager of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. We're going to talk CPL cricket this morning, Caribbean Premier League 2020. So let's take Mr. Khan on the line. Good morning, Mr. Khan, and thanks for taking our call this morning.
Good morning.
And how are you? A very interesting developments taking place in cricket and sporting fraternity. I want to talk to you this morning, CPL. You still hold the post or position of manager of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, yes?
That's correct.
All right. Now we're heading into a very unusual period. It's not business as usual. The Caribbean Premier League. The Trinidad and Tobago government would have given their endorsement of the league, and they would have also sanctioned that the league will be played in Trinidad at 2 venues. Now there are certain stipulations and certain guidelines. How do you see this playing out, and what are some of the impact? What are some of the challenges you envisage going into this tournament?
Well, obviously, it's going to be a tournament of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we are looking at the Test series in England, West Indies, England, where they are playing, biosecure environment and bubbles and creating that for safety and with the present pandemic. It's a requirement that must be put in place, must be adhered to in order to have the tournament. So similarly for the CPL, we'll be, in a closed environment, lockdown environment at the Hilton, where initially, everyone will be in quarantine and have to adhere to all the quarantine requirements set out by the CMO and the government.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the quarantine period, then we'll get into the practice sessions and the games. And of course, the games will be played behind closed doors in empty stadia. So, I mean, all those things, will be a difference. But I'm sure that, people wanting to get back, especially the cricketers and the spectators, the cricket-loving public, will have no problem with, cricket at all being played, because that is what it is all about. It will be the first T20 league to be held, during the pandemic. And it's something that I'm sure the cricketing public worldwide will be looking forward to.
All right. Now, Trinidad hosts this Caribbean Premier League, the 2020 edition, and games will be played at two venues, more so at the Queen's Park Oval and also at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Teams have been selected for the various franchises. What are the players telling you? Because I'm sure that you would have had conversation with some of the players. What are they telling you with regards to all of the restrictions and so on?
Not much, actually. We have been communicating and sharing guidelines, sharing what is required of them. In fact, the players, the international players in particular, have to go through a lot of stringent in terms of their travel restrictions and travel protocols. The players need to get a negative COVID test done 72 hours before arrival. So all those things have been put in place. The arriving into Barbados and going through the protocol there and then coming to Trinidad, all those things are things that have been constantly communicated with the players to ensure that they have, their COVID-19 tests, negative tests done before they could travel. They have prepared their walk with their masks, their gloves and whatever they need to do, hand sanitizers, be sure that they are equipped with all those things. So it's part of the new norm, as we say now, and it's something that we have to adjust to.
All right. Do you think, Mr. Khan, that the decision by the government of the day was a bit premature, given the level of the virus in certain jurisdictions, most of the United States and India and other places? But my question to you here is this. There have been thoughts and discussion on this program concerning the Caribbean Premier League, and some pundits, cricketing pundits, sporting pundits, are of the view that this edition of the Caribbean Premier League could be watered down, given the absence of spectators.
Well, obviously, it's T20 cricket is about entertainment, excitement, and the crowd does form part of that. But taking into consideration the present situation with the global pandemic, right, the mere fact that we can have live cricket, right, is a plus, because people want to see live cricket. So I still see people, the Caribbean culture will, in fact, is instilled in them, embedded in them, that they will still organize their limes and their home gatherings and their bars at the bars and pubs and restaurants to get an opportunity to, with friends, to see the game live on TV. So it's an opportunity. Yes, they will not be in the actual stadium live, but they will. I'm sure that people are looking forward so much to seeing live cricket that they will organize their parties and their limes to see the matches on TV.
All right, Mr. Khan, you are at the helm of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and certainly to get this grouping together, it must be quite challenging for you to motivate these players given the new normal which we are facing. Share your thoughts with me.
Definitely, it's, as I said, we have been continuously communicating with our players and our staff as to all the requirements and all the measures that have been put in place, right, and getting them to buy into the concept and have an appreciation for what is required. So it's part of their mental development too as players. I have always had someone who advocated for these things, that players must be able to adjust to different situations. It's just like a game sense scenario where sometimes you got to adjust mentally to a different situation and be able to have patience, be able to go through different pressure situations and be able to come out of it in a successful manner. So it's all about the development and preparation of a professional cricketer. And that's what we are telling to them. At the end of the day, you are a perfect professional and not everything will be the same all the time. So you've got to adjust to the situation, prepare yourselves mentally for it, and, show your mental strength and be able to come out there. And when you go out on the field of play, play cricket as you would normally play and give it your all.
Now,
as West Indies are demonstrating now.
All right. Now, Mr. Khan, let's move on with the conversation. The Ministry of Health, and by extension, the government of the day, would have instituted certain guidelines. But you yourself, as manager, as a cricket administrator, what are some of the challenges you envisage in hosting this competition in the new normal?
Well, I mean, as I said, first of all, is to go through the quarantine period. That will be the biggest challenge. Once we get through that 14-day quarantine period, which everyone has to adhere to, because once you get into the hotel, it's locked down, right, for the 14-day period, where you'll be tested when you arrive, and then you will be tested 7 days after the quarantine period, and then at the end of the quarantine, you'll be tested again. So once you get through that initial stage, which will be the most challenging one, right? Because remember, the players will not be able to move around. They will be in one area, secluded area, right? They will not be able to come out of the hotel. There will be very limited engagement, in terms of activities. So that will be the biggest challenge. And once we get through that, and then we pass all the tests and everybody negative, and we are good to go out and practice, then it will be a different scenario, because once you get out on the field of play and get into activity sessions, that will be totally different. It brings back the norm, so to speak, and the players will be feeling much more comfortable. So I think that's the biggest challenge in getting through that initial quarantine period, the 14-day period.
And given all of the restrictions and guidelines, preparing the players for match day would be quite interesting and quite a challenge indeed too, Mr. Khan.
Definitely it will be challenging, because we wouldn't have, as I said, the structure of the tournament leaves very little time for practice, on-field practice. So as soon as the 14-day period is finished, you got about 2 days to practice and then straight into games. So that's something we need to work on and need to adjust to, and get the players them to really to be able to prepare themselves for that sort of situation and that scenario.
All right, Mr. Khan, let's shift our gears now a bit, so to speak, and focus on the West Indies series against England. The West Indies would have won that first match against England, a comprehensive victory by 4 wickets, and cricketing pundits are singing the praises of Captain Jason Holder, German Blackwood, and by extension the attitude of the entire West Indies cricket team. What would you say are some of the measures or some of the reasons for this shift in attitude and this positive approach by this bunch of Caribbean cricketers as it relates to the series?
Well, first of all, we demonstrated quite clearly that we were much more patient and much more prepared in terms of our attitude towards the game. Clearly the Caribbean cricketers been there for, almost a month prior to the test match. They adjusted well to the conditions. They prepared themselves well. And as, you must give credit to Coach Phil Simmons and the management staff for getting the players in the frame of mind and doing all the work that is required to have them ready for the test match. Now, Jason has been, a very good leader. I've worked with Jason since the under-19 level when I was manager of the West Indies team. Jason was my captain with the West Indies under-19 team to the 2009-2010 World Cup in New Zealand. And in that team, there were Jason Holder, John Campbell, German Blackwood, Shane Dorridge, Craig Braffett. So all the players majority of the players on this present test team were part of that. And we did a lot of work during those initial stages to help develop the players into true professionals, and they are certainly exhibiting that sort of characteristics now. Professionalism, understanding their role and responsibilities as players and doing the right things more consistently well. That's in the bowling, for example, West Indies bowl a much better line and length than England in the first test. They were much more fuller. They were getting the ball to move as opposed to England, they were bowling much more short. And you would expect the England players to have an appreciation for the conditions better than West Indies, but West Indies certainly outplay them and outthink them in that area.
Now, one of the reasons given for the success of the West Indies thus far in that first test, according to Phil Simmons, the coach of the team, is preparation. And he also is making an appeal to the Cricket West Indies to maintain this measure. This measure I'm talking about here, Mr. Khan, is a 25 or a 24 member touring team as opposed to what we would have had in the past. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, that's, something you would like to have. It's certainly added advantage because at the end of the day, you have, so many other players involved. And as Jason Holder quite correctly said, you never had such good net sessions before because you have players who are not initially part of the test squad, but who are there for preparing the team and as the reserve squad, so to speak. And they were able to bowl full, giving their all to bowl in the nets and those kind of things you don't normally have when you're on tour, and it's something definitely the board will need to look at. I don't think they will be able to maintain a 25-member squad because of the costs and the economics involved, But definitely they will need to look to expand their squad where they will have, and it has started with other teams, India, England, Australia, teams that go foreign on tours normally carry a number of reserve players so that they can be used as what you call net bowlers and, specialist net bowlers, so they'll carry 2 fast bowlers and a spinner. So that supplement, the squad, the official squad, so that the regular bowlers could be rested and then do specific work rather than having to bowl a full session in a net, which will sometimes have an impact or really take a toll on the bowlers when it comes to actual match day. So that's something definitely I'm sure the board will look at, and especially if the coach has recommended it. As I said, the squad should be increased, but definitely not to the 25 level because of costs and whatnot.
All right, well, I'm looking at the game here live on ESPN, and right now the score is 28 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Yeah, they have just lost a wicket.
Share your thoughts with me, Mr. Khan. Look into your crystal ball and tell me, how do you see this series panning out? West Indies 1 up thus far.
I think West Indies will win the series. They have been a better team, better prepared team, so to speak. Looking at the game, right now, I mean, we didn't start it well this morning with the ball because we under the conditions, having won the toss and inserted England, in overcast conditions, you would have expected the bowlers to bowl a much more fuller length and a much more consistent line. But they sprayed a lot. Shannon Gabriel struggled, with his line and length. And so too did the other Kemar Roach. Didn't make the batsman play enough. But, Ruston Chase came on and got the early wicket. And I think after lunch, you will see a difference in terms of the bowlers bowling a much more fuller length and trying to be a lot more, make the batsman play a lot more, and that to be a lot more effective. And I see Jason Holder, really, as he done in the first test, he will be the leader, demonstrating to the other bowlers what is required on these types of wickets.
All right.
So I think once we could restrict them again, as we did in the first test, score around 200, 250, West Indies will be on top.
All right. Mr. Khan, on another note, 2 of your players, 2 emerging West Indian cricketers, the West Indies community would have a lot of hope and would have looked on at their performances. I'm talking here about Keemo Paul and Shimron Hetmyer. Do you think it was a bit of a hasty, premature decision on their part not to be part of this West Indies setup in this series?
Well, I have already commented on that. I did some, interviews on that, and I said my personal view, and this again is my personal view, is both of them should have gone on the tour. And I know it's a challenge. It was a hard decision to make in terms of their family commitments and what was happening because they live in a different situation. In Guyana, Keemo Paul, for example, is the sole breadwinner for his family, and they live out on the Berbice area, out in in an area that it's difficult not to be able to survive without an income. And, taking all that into consideration, but saying all that, I think that both young cricketers should have considered that as professional cricketers and part of their overall development as young cricketers, it was a great opportunity for them to go and experience such a tour because it will help them develop as stronger individuals, as much more mentally strong, and be able to improve in the overall cricket in the future.
All right, Mr. Khan, finally, but this is a very touchy subject indeed. Dave Cameron is now presenting himself to be a candidate for the International Cricket Council. The Cricket West Indies have not thrown their support behind him. Share your view with me.
Well, I think it's obvious. I mean, if you have lost the elections, you now have a new board in place, right? And they were the present board, of course, when they contested the election, there were a number of issues that was raised, and it's difficult to see the present board supporting Mr. Cameron's candidacy at this point in time. So I think it's just obvious. I think Dave Cameron, I wish him well in his endeavors, but it's just clear that there's no way that the present West Indies board could have supported his candidacy.
All right, well, I cannot let you go, Mr. Khan, without asking you this question. You manage the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, having lost so many finals in the Caribbean Premier League. Who are some of the players that you view as making a difference to capture the league this year?
Young Nicholas Pooran, I think he's a real, strong candidate as a motivator, a player with a very positive attitude. He adds a lot to not only on the field but off the field. And he was certainly, as I said, we need to get our mental side of the game correct for pressure situations. And when we reach final, we got to, be just as patient and play with the same positive intent and, professional attitude as we have done throughout the season. We are normally a very good team. We have been one of the more consistent teams throughout this actual season. But coming to finals, we seem to have flown some way or the other, fault come to. So we need to get that right, and I think Nicholas Pooran, young Shimon Hettemeier, Brandon King, who are the young players in the team that have played with us last year, they know exactly, have experienced it, and they know what is required now. We don't have the experience of Shah Malik this year, which is a big blow for us, because he was our captain last year, and he adds that, steadiness on the field, calmness on the field. He's that type of player. But we have Ross Taylor, who has joined us, and Ross, as you know, is a player with tremendous experience. He has captained New Zealand before, and he will certainly add, a new dimension to the kind of experience we need reaching finals and having someone to guide us through tough situations and bringing that level of calmness and thinking that is required for being successful in a final.
And your captain remains Chris Green, yes?
No, we haven't made a decision on that but yet. The franchise management will, over the next week, have some discussions on it, and then we'll make a decision on the captain for this year.
Mr. Khan, always a pleasure talking to you. I can engage you in discussion. We can talk about cricket for over an hour and a half, but our conversation has must now come to an end. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, and we'll talk again in the future, my friend.
No problem. Anytime. All the best.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's the voice there of Omar Khan, former West Indies cricket manager. He now manages the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Note that we've been talking Caribbean Premier League cricket here this morning. The Caribbean Premier League, the 2020 edition, will come off in Trinidad at two venues, at the Queen's Park Oval and also at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. The competition runs from the 18th of August to the 10th of September. Should be very quite interesting, knowing that we this competition will be coordinated with all of the necessary restrictions and guidelines, the new normal, so to speak. It will be quite challenging to see how this Caribbean Premier League, the T20 Caribbean Premier League, will pattern out. Note that the competition, as I said, will get going from the 18th of August until let me get the date correct here now. 18th of August to the 10th of September. Stay with us here, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. I'll be right back after these messages from our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
Kathy School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liquor, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liquor, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Puzzle lovers, rejoice! Your free 24-page Newsday puzzle book is now available twice a week, only in your Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. Now you really can look forward to staying home. Newsday, independent and credible.
Only the people can save the people. This is the mantra of the National Solidarity Assembly. Join its political leader and president of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Nirvan Maharaj, as he invites you to join these organizations and other top executives on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper for 2 one-hour monthly features as they discuss the concerns and challenges facing the working class of this country, tackling the issues, generating bold talk, finding solutions, bringing the workers' agenda to the front burner, and providing a new vehicle. That's the NSA's mission. Be part of this informative panel discussion with operatives from the NSA. Only happening here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper.
On the road again with U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. Yes, we're back with our road shows. Be part of the U97.5 FM bandwagon as we bring you live broadcasts from locations throughout the country. Come enjoy our company with music, entertainment, and lots of giveaways. Stay with the U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio for greater programming as we hit the road again.
Hello, I am Rajendra Ramprasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, to improve agriculture, to revive Point Lisas, and to develop our infrastructure, also to enhance security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Ramprasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
All will be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won, and we know we will win every time. Just keep the faith, heads up high. We're together in this, you and I. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be won, and we know we will win every time. And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote to protect the treasury. Vote is only Dr. Rowley. The right choice for TNT. PNM is the choice. PNM is the voice. PNM all the way on election day is the right choice at the right time.
August 10th. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Well, yes, and let me welcome you back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper, the morning program. Well, we just have about 10 minutes again with you here this morning as we make way for the Bees Hi-Fi at the top of the hour. He will be going from 9 o'clock until the hour of 12. And yes, you can also look forward to some great things coming from us here at 97.5. We will be bringing to you our live road show at various jurisdictions throughout the country. We've got this road show planning for the 29th of August. That's next month. So you can stay tuned for us here as we bring you all that information. Yes, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Again, let me thank Mr. Omar Khan, former West Indies cricket manager, and also he's the current manager of the Caribbean Amazon Warriors, one of the franchises engaging in the Caribbean Premier League. We thank him very much for sharing some thought with us this morning. He would have looked into his crystal ball and said, well, the West Indies will walk away with victory in this test series. At a news time there, England taken for a strike. They would have been at, I think it was 28 or 29 for the loss of 1 wicket. Remember, the West Indies would have won that first test by 4 wickets. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the boys can actually win this test match, the second test match, and win a series away from home soil. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. You need to call us back here, 636-7547, 227-5739. Those are the numbers to get into our conversation here this morning. And you can also WhatsApp us at 378-4975. That's a new number where you can get us here at 975. 378-4975. We are also live on YouTube at RCL 975. Let's thank Shiva Parasram from Parasram Productions for providing his services to us to bring us live into your homes, and wherever you are, you can catch us on YouTube. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Let's talk a bit about what is happening in communities throughout Trinidad, especially in rural Trinidad. Well, yesterday a friend of mine came and asked me that I should talk about the lack of a regular supply of pipe-borne water. Well, I would have exhausted that on so many occasions on this program. It's like beating a dead horse, you know, a lack of proper pipe-borne water in various communities. Well, the Minister of Public Utilities, Mr. Fitzgerald Hine, would have been on our program last week, Sunday, and he would have stated that it's quite a challenge indeed. People would have been talking about equity in the distribution of water. The minister said, well, great efforts are being made to ensure that there's equal distribution of water throughout Trinidad and Tobago. My other beef here this morning is with garbage collection. And for some reason or the other, I cannot understand why the various corporations, I'm looking here at the Princestown Regional Corporation, why they cannot adhere to the timing in terms of garbage collection. People have been complaining that they would put their garbage outside on mornings, and it's only around after, let's say, about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or so, you'd have the trucks passing in these various villages and so on to pick up the garbage. And when it's there on the roadside, well, you know what happens with stray dogs and what have you. So it's something which we will continue to look at here. And again, I'm making an appeal on the Princestown Regional Corporation and the authorities there. I don't know how many of you would have journeyed down to the Eugene St. Madeleine Pond, and I take serious issue with the manner in which that facility is being kept. I take serious issue with that. Know that a number of people from in and around the district or the communities would engage or go down to the Eugene St. Madeleine Pond to recreate, to fish, to picnic, and what have you. But in recent times, within the last month or so, or it could be more than that, at least 75% of the water at using St. Madeleine Pond is covered with lilies, is covered with water lilies. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. I don't know who is responsible. I really don't know. But something ought to be done. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning again, Henrik.
And good morning to you. Good morning.
Henrik, I have a dinghy.
You have a dinghy?
Let us organize with a group and let us go and clean that pond.
No, but
nobody wouldn't clean it.
No, but you understand my lament this morning.
Yes, I understand your cry. And again, in this country, when we tell ourselves we have people to do the job, they are collecting pay under false pretense. I have a dinghy. Let us organize and let us get some people within your community and let us go and clean it and bring it back to a beautiful site.
No,
because
but
I heard you talk about it a couple months ago, and a couple months after now, nothing has been done. I passed there after Friday last week. I was there. I passed through that area and I looked at it and I said, my God, this is a site for people to look at as a tourist attraction, because that is where the cane used to grind and be manufactured. And that pond is a beautiful pond. But after hearing you, we as the citizens, when the government and the corporations and the politicians do not do their job, we have to get up and we have this country where it is in it. Not the politician in it. We, the citizen, the average man on the street, have this country where it is today.
No, but
because we allow the authorities to walk over our faces.
No, but the point I'm making is that a number of councillors would be aware of the situation. Right. Even the member of parliament is aware of the situation. Why nothing is being done? Not even a release or some sort of assurance. Nothing is happening.
Think about it. Election is in the air. They will come to campaign by you maybe this weekend or next weekend and draw it to their attention and get a response. They will put it in writing that if they get into office, that's something they want to attend to within the first 6 months. Come on. Do like what I'm telling them to do in my area when they come to campaign by me. I have a list for them to sign up. So I want to hold them to their word. And that is what we have to be doing, Henrik. We have to hold these people accountable and make sure that when they do get into office and they're collecting a salary, they have to be doing the job, otherwise get out. That is the reason. I would love to help you clean that pond. It could be a pride and it could be a joy. I could bring my dinghy down. I'll have some friends and we can organize in your community and let us do you laugh. Let us do it a weekend, Henrik. We will get the TV crew to come down and show that people in the community is taking care of the community. Not the politician, not the corporation, not the councillor. Okay? Have a good morning.
Well, I am saying shame on those people who are charged with the responsibilities of maintaining that pond, the using St. Madeleine Pond. Shame on them. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you, the president of the 2x4 Club. Good morning to you.
Derek.
Yeah, good morning.
If you wait a little bit again, when Kamala gets into office, she will start up the factory, and that pond will be clean. I don't know what kind of pie in the sky thing she just come up with. You know that can happen. We had to clean it yourself. All right, and next thing again, you see when they win and they go into the Red House to swear in, after they swear in and they say they take God in them out, you know what they just give them? A blinders. You know, like when you have a donkey and you have to put him in the cart, you have to put a blind over your eye. That is what it is give them. That is why they can't see what the hell they have to do. They get a pair of blinders, and I don't know why Kamala would want to fool people and say, we're going to start back the sugar factory and we go open back petrol train. You know how much billions of dollars that thing will take? That will cost? We should get the money from. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you. Well, on that note, we must bring the curtain down on today's edition of the morning program. I want to thank all our callers for sharing their thoughts with us this morning and for being part of the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper family. But my lines are burning up. Let me give these callers. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
All these things that we just talk about, that's what you call safe seat mentality. Unless we don't change that safe seat mentality and put an opposition to the PNM, all the time you're going to find them thing going on. They don't see, they don't hear. When they pass around, they go tell you what you want to hear. And when you tell them anything, they will say, you use a confusionist. You just do this, you just do that. So leave them. They will go out and say seats and go just now later.
All right, friend. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Can the club, the golf course at that pond is vested under Ministry of Sport?
Mm-hmm. No, and I'm not talking here about the golf course and the club.
The pond, the whole area there.
But the clubhouse itself is dilapidated.
Yeah, and they're not Ministry of Sport.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use it at one time and I had to call them the Ministry of Sport. So.
No, but whoever is responsible, Chris, it's an eyesore.
I know what you're saying, but if you have to make representation to get it done, the Ministry of Sport will be the people you have to talk to.
All right, Chris, thanks. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call. Well, I need to bring the curtain down on today's edition of the morning program. Again, let's thank all our callers. Let me thank Joel D'Souza for sharing some thoughts with us this morning, and more so Mr. Omar Khan for being part of the program. Good morning, people. Good morning. Take care of yourself. I am out of here. Let me invite you to join me again tomorrow. Just after the 6 o'clock hour as we continue with our conversation. Tomorrow I'll be hosting the President General of the Old Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Mr. Nirvan Maraj, from just around 7:30. So that should be a very interesting discussion indeed as we look at the politics of the day. Stay with us here, 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. I want to leave you with this. One of my favorite selection. They don't make calypsos or songs like these anymore, you know. Listen to this one.
When I look around in the world, what do I see? I see footprints that man have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambitions, figments of our imagination, and I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was, simply because in this quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry, soon the birds won't fly, the mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, yes, I just wonder why.